So this, what we are looking at here, this is what's going on in the Bronx. And this graph is comparing February. We just came out of the month of February, so we're going to be looking at the month of February, and we're going to compare that to 2023. This will give us a sense more so of where we are, kind of where we are trending and things of that nature. So another thing too, also, there's no multifamily homes here, by the way. I really want to point it out. This includes co-ops, condos, and single-family homes in the Bronx. Okay, so let's look at single families for a second. And new listings that came out in the month of February in 2023 is here. Okay, these are the new listings that came out. Let me just go back. I apologize. Okay, sorry about that. All right, new listings that came out was 61 in 2023, and this was the month of February. This year, we only had 54. Again, when we talk about the inventory crisis, this is exactly what we're looking at and talking about. So new inventory in the entire Bronx, single families, is down 11.5%. Okay, 11.5%. Closed sales is also down. Last year, we had, at this time, we had 37 closed sales. And this year, we had 23. A big thing to look at here, and we can, while we can go through all the data, I think it shows across the board, except for here, condos increase. Inventories for condos increase. But if you look at the inventory of homes, it's kind of the same thing across the board. Inventory is low. And the Bronx single family inventory is down 35.7%, sorry, almost 40%. And this again is for the month of February. Okay. Span, let's take single families. Let's take co-ops, actually. Let's start with co-ops. So co-ops were starting at anywhere back in 2014 at, let's say, $180,000, give or take, looking at this graph. And over the years, as you can see, it went down maybe a little bit, but for the most part, it's just been climbing almost steadily for the last 10 years. As of today, they're up now to, let's say, 210,000 on average for actually the mean sales price for a co-op in the Bronx. The mean sales price for a co-op in the Bronx now, as of 2024, is at about 210. It's about 210 if looking at this. And for condos, what we're seeing is that condos went anywhere from about 195 or 198, give or take. And as you can see, the condo had a bigger jump. Condos are now a little bit below 300,000. At some point, looking over here back in 2021, this was like around in the height of the pandemic, or the middle of the pandemic, if you wish. Somewhere here, we had condos in the Bronx was at an all-time high. Sorry about that. Condos were at an all-time high. So, and this was back during the pandemic. As of today, we're looking at anywhere below 300,000 for the median sales price for a condo in the Bronx. This is now, let's say, about 290, give or take, looking at this graph. Malika, if you can tell us what the increase is in the chat on those condos and co-ops, that'd be great. In single family homes, we're looking at an increase. As you can see, those went up tremendously, went from anywhere from 370. Back in 2023, we was at an all-time high. And I can see here it's starting to pick up back in 2024. So looks like single family prices are going up this year, as we can see. And this one went anywhere from about 375, went up to let's say 615. Now we're down to about 610, which is a tremendous jump for single families homes in the So this is our next segment of this workshop is how to prepare your home for sale. This is a big one also because a lot of times, we meet with or I meet a homeowner, whether it's through different ways, obviously, but I meet a homeowner and they say, Jason, I would like to sell, but it's so much things that I have to do to get my home sold. And so I think how to prepare your home, this will help a lot of people, I believe. So definitely we have things to do before the day of the we take photos or a professional photographer comes out, but then it's things that we do the day off. And if you want, you can either take a screenshot of this or I can send you this information. That way you have it. Or obviously you can call me and you can have the information the same way. Okay. 10 easy steps to sell your home in 2024 for maximum dollars. First, we need to meet. That's the first thing. You definitely want to call me. You want to call and say, hey, Jason, I'm interested in selling my home. The next thing for us is to game plan. And what that game plan looks like. We talk about your goals. We talk about what is it that you're trying to accomplish. We talked about the time frame in which you want to be in your new home. We talk about it all. At this point, it's all about you. It's all about my clients. It's all about my sellers. And so what we'll be doing in that meeting is going over and reviewing current competition. Selling homes is super competitive. Speaking about the different seasons, we talk about that before, right? That's why, when you sell a home, it's all about reviewing and knowing what the competition is. What was listed, what was sold, how much it was sold for, how far is it from my home, the location. We have to look at the competition. What is the square footage? What is the condition of the home, right? Knowing that information will allow us to identify and price your home correctly. And in that pricing situation, we like to create what's called an auction effect, where we're having more buyers and more offers on your home versus narrowing down the price and make it or put it into a needle in the haystack is what we call it. So we like to create what's called an auction effect. And more often than not, whenever we're able to do that, it has allowed us to sell the homes for a lot more than it would actually sold for because we have now created not just buzz, but we have created so much buyer traffic that we just happen to see homes sell a lot more whenever we are creating those opportunities for our clients. Once we set the accurate price on your home, we'll be talking about the launch date. On my team, we call this the go live date. The go live date is the date that we want to get your home on the market, right? And another thing that's not here, and I want to point out to you, is that we have this thing that we also do. It's called a coming soon campaign. What this coming soon campaign does and allows us to do is to advertise your home for 14 days without anyone being able to actually go inside the property. So in this 14-day time frame, what we're doing is we're advertising it, we're talking about it, we're introducing it to potential buyers, we're letting everybody know about the home. That's what we're doing on our end. We're getting all the marketing, the materials ready. And on your end, what you're doing is getting the home ready. You're doing all the things that we need to do to get the home ready for show, whether it's sprucing up the yard, whether it's cleaning, whether it's anything, whether it's decluttering, depersonalizing the home. So we use that 14 days in our coming soon campaign before we launch the house. Now, 14 days is the max. Sometimes we do 2 days, sometimes we do 5 days. It all depends on what is it that the client needs. Right. I know a lot of times a client may say, hey, I don't want to speak to a realtor. I'm not quite ready yet. I'm going to be ready in 2 weeks. Now, that 2 weeks that you're going to be ready in, we could use that 2 weeks as a marketing tactic or a coming soon campaign that's going to also create buzz around your property before we actually have the property go live to the market. So all of that will be said and discussed in our initial meeting, whether you need how much time you need to get things ready. We're signing listing agreements or the agreements to sell your home. If your home is vacant, we'll definitely come in and bring in a stager. If it's not vacant, we're scheduling photography right away. And myself and my photographer typically arrive anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour, help to move some things around that weren't moved around before to get the home ready, even more ready for photos, right? And from there, we're launching the listing and we're just sitting back and watching the results. So in a nutshell, that is how we go about selling homes for top dollars, not just in 2023, but throughout the years that I've been doing this. Or not just 2024, sorry. Key reasons I would say to consider making a move. Obviously, there's a lot that's probably missing from here, but what we're seeing is that personally, I'm helping a lot of families downsize. Personally, today, what we're seeing is that there's a lot of people that is downsizing, and if they're not downsizing, they're also relocating personally. But we also work with people who are upsizing also because their family is growing. You know, their kids are getting older. They need additional bedrooms because the kids now have to be in separate rooms. Um, you know, some people work from home, they need a home office. Or my home is too small, Jason, I need more storage space. And and as far as people that needs smaller homes, we're seeing people who are, whether it's just a husband and wife that's living at home, or you have a widow, or you have a divorce, the kids went off to college, they're not coming back home. Um, you know, we also deal with a lot of the older population who says, Jason, I can't deal with the stairs anymore. You know, I don't want to climb the stairs anymore. You know, Jason, I do not want to deal with the slow shoveling anymore. You know, these are some of the people that we're looking at and we're hearing that saying, Jason, I think it's time to consider to downsize. And we have lots of options there for them. Relocation, we're seeing a lot of people that they don't want to deal with the snow. They go in north, they go in south, sorry. They're going south. They also want to change a pace. They want to, you know, New York City can be fast for a lot of people. Also, New York City can be expensive for a lot of people. And so we're seeing a lot of people who are either selling or just buying out of state. And a lot of people is also going south or they're moving back to their native countries. So that is what we're seeing right now. And if you're in this position or predicament, or you know, if any of this applies to you, then definitely it's good to know what your options are. Out here today is a lot of times, especially for those homeowners who had brought homes in the past and they had their homes anywhere from about 7 years or more, what we're doing today is that we're taking them either from a smaller home to a bigger home, and we're helping them in most cases to pay similar or the same mortgage payments. Again, we're taking these homeowners who are in similar, smaller homes who wants to buy bigger homes today, and we're getting them to pay just about similar or the same mortgage payments. And that despite what the current interest rates is. Obviously, moving out of town and you have a home, you're probably buying your home all cash, or you're going to have a lot less mortgage payments. For those homeowners who are in bigger homes who wants to come down smaller, same thing. So just something to think about if if any of these things. And actually, so what we call this here is upgrading your lifestyle, because at the end of the day, you are going to be paying similar or the same mortgages, just in a different home, a home that's more conducive to yourself and family or current lifestyle. There's a lot of concerns about selling homes in 2024. The first one is that buyers are not looking. I've heard this time and time again. Jason, I want to sell my home, but buyers are not looking. And obviously, we went through that early on, and you saw what's going on in terms of the activities. But the truth about this is that we have many, many buyers that are looking in the market despite the current interest rates. And the good news is that as a seller, you have less competition is fierce, right? You have less competition. And so it makes it not an accurate statement that there are buyers not looking. There's a lot of buyers that are looking currently, and buyers are also paying top dollars for homes. The reason being is because you have less inventory when it comes to sellers. So forcing a buyer who is buying today to pay top dollars for your home. Okay. Um, a lot of times we also hear, Jason, I don't know where to go. And this is a big one. I get this one time and time after again. But what I would say to that seller, if you don't know where to go, or you don't know um, exactly what is it that you are looking for or where to begin, I will always say reach out to a professional realtor. Um, and just have a simple conversation. And what this conversation can looks like is, I'm not sure where I want to go, but my house right now, it might be too small or it might be too big. Um, or I just want to get out again, the cold, or whatever the case may be. It's a simple conversation that I would say that you need to have so that your realtor could get a good sense of what your goals is in this next move, right? What is your goal in the next move, right? You don't know where to go, but what is your goal? What is it that you're trying to accomplish? And that would be my question, and that would be my approach, because with that information, it would allow me to know where I need to direct you as a client, right? And another thing about this is I work with Keller Williams, and Keller Williams is a nationwide company, which means we have companies all over the United States of America, China, Jamaica. We have offices all over these places. And so it allows us to tap in all these different markets, right? So if you're a homeowner, you're not sure where to go, um, starting with myself or your realtor. Again, I say Keller Williams, I work with Keller Williams, and I would say Keller Williams because I know what Keller Williams is capable of when it comes to helping homeowners move into different locations or different parts of the world. All right. Um, I should wait until the spring when weather and landscaping looks better. We talk about this already, so I'm not sure if you want me to dive back into this. But again, the perfect time to sell a home is when you're ready, is when your family needs to upsize, is when your family needs to downsize, or is when your family needs to relocate. That is the perfect time to sell a home. How much you get for your home having more so to do with the job that collectively you and your realtor decides to do. All right. I hope that makes sense. Um, and we talked about this one too. I have too much work to do to prepare to sell. We've heard this one too, which we touched on before. If you're not sure where to start, give us a call. We can help you navigate the process literally from start to finish. So don't hesitate to give us a call. All right, the first question I'm going to answer is Jason, how long will it take to sell my home? This is a great question. Um, and this is a big one, right? A lot of times people wants to sell, they want to be done with the process, they want to go and they want to move on. So how long will it take to sell my home? Um, so selling your home, as you can see, it says typically selling within 30 to 90 days. This 30 to 90 days, just so you know, is the mortgage process. This is the mortgage process. This is very different from the time that it takes to find a buyer for your home. Um, it can take anywhere between 30 to 90 days to sell your home after you find a buyer, right? After you find a buyer. But before you find a buyer has more so to do with your area, your zip code, the condition of your home, how well it was prepared, what is it that we did. It has more to do with the marketing. It has more to how to do with the advertising. It has more to do with how much or how easy it is to show the buyers. That is important, right? So that's and also another thing, how long it will take to sell your home is very predicated based on the price that we set on your home, right? But this 30 to 90 days has more so to do with the mortgage process. What I can tell you in today's market, we're seeing homes or my lenders are closing homes anywhere between 30 to 45 days, which is pretty good. All right. So that's the time frame that we're using to sell homes today. Is how will you market my home to potential buyers, to potential home buyers? This is a good one. And I'm going to dive into that. So here's what I'll do personally to market your home to potential buyers. So there's 8 different things that we're currently doing. Obviously, there's a lot more. Social media is not listed here, but we do a lot of social media stuff. But just to kick things off, we take high quality photos showcasing your property's best features. Um, we'll create that's going to create appealing photos on the market, which means, someone seeing your photos, it should be looking at least appealing to the eye. So we take high quality professional photos to begin with when we're taking on your home. We also online listings. We make sure that your home gets to the MLS, which is our multiple listing service. We post it on all real estate websites, social media channels to reach a wide audience of potential buyers. So that is our online listing that we do. We also do open houses. We typically like to host open houses the first weekend in which we list your property. We typically like to do an open house. We like to give interested buyers the opportunity to view your home firsthand and ask questions, and we typically get that accomplished through a open house setting. We do print marketing. Okay, print marketing is another one that we do. It's down here, number 7. Traditional print marketing, materials such as flyers. We do flyers, we do brochures. We also do postcards. Sometimes it's just listed, just sold postcards. May also be utilized, for buyers who preferred like an off-market method or offline. Not everyone is computer savvy, or not everyone is going to be receiving. We want to reach everyone, whether it's online or offline. And so we try to accommodate to those individuals as well. Pricing strategy, as we talked about, your pricing strategy is very important part of our marketing, because if it's priced incorrectly and we are not in the right price range or bracket, no one will come and see your home. No one will come and see your home. I'll give you a good example. If you have $1 million house, right, and you priced it at $1,100,000, at $1,200,000, hoping to negotiate with buyers, and you want $1,000,000, you're putting yourself in a bad position to reach potential buyers. The reason being is because if somebody is searching for a home that's worth $1,000,000 and your home is at a 1.1 or 1.2 price range, no one will see it. No one will see it. So it's very important that when we are pricing your home, that we priced it in a way where it gets the maximum exposure. Preferably in a situation like this, and you want $1,000,000 for your home. It all depends. If the home is worth $1,000,000, personally, I probably listed a little bit below $1,000,000. And that's just me personally, just to be able to get the eyeballs that we need to, one, not just get you $1,000,000, but to also sell it quicker, right? To also sell it quicker, because the longer your home sits on the market, the less money you make. The longer your home sits on the market, the less buyers are going to be willing to pay for it. So personally, for me, I like to price it a little bit below. It allows us to create that auction effect that we're looking for. And it also allows us to get what we're looking for and sell it for over the asking price. All right. So that's pricing strategy. And by implementing these marketing tactics, I aim to generate interested buyers, attract more qualified buyers for your home, and ultimately facilitate a successful. How will you handle negotiations with potential buyers? This is a question that I get, and it's a great one. So how will we handle negotiation? We handle negotiation, one, by preparing ourselves, for the negotiations. And what that looks like for us when we're preparing for negotiation, we are thoroughly researching market conditions, comparable sales, which we talked about, and other relevant factors to ensure you have a solid understanding of what your current that we have a solid understanding of what your current property value and market position is. So it's very important that we know what's going on around your property. We need to know the competition. So those are some of the ways in which we prepare for any negotiation that comes up around your property. Communication, we want to communicate with clear and timely communication. We believe that this is key. And throughout the negotiation process, being able to communicate clearly and timely is very, very important. So throughout the negotiation, I'll also keep you informed on all offers that comes in, all the counter offers, and promptly provide you with the information you need to make informed decisions. So, just constantly communicating, and we can't say enough for that. Understand buyer's motivation is also very important to us. By understanding the buyer's motivation and the priorities of potential buyers, I can tailor our negotiation strategies to address their concerns while also advocating for my clients. So, understanding the buyer's position is very important also. You want to be fair, which is important, which was why we have win-win here. But also the goal is to make sure that we can sell the home and sell the home for the most money possible. So any counter offers that needs to happen, I work closely with my clients um, to develop strategic counter offers. A lot of times when we talk about negotiations and we're negotiating, my clients, they're not sure what to do or what to say. They get a low ball offer. Sometimes nothing is said. Jason, I don't want it. Or not even a low ball offer, just an offer. Oh, Jason, I don't want it. And, a lot of times the negotiations can die that way, right? But having somebody making an offer on your house is a big thing. So I would not recommend having the negotiation stop because we didn't initially get the offer that we need. So working with my clients closely to develop strategic counter offers is very important to us. And what that does is it allows us to keep the negotiation moving forward to ultimately where hopefully we can land in a place that's good for everyone. Flexibility and creativity is another thing. In some cases, negotiation may require flexibility and creativity. Our creative solutions is also important to overcome obstacles or address buyers' concerns. Another one is we approach negotiation while focusing on win-win situations. While my primary goal is to secure the best possible outcomes for my clients, I also strive to create a win-win situation that satisfies the needs of both parties and trying to facilitate a smooth transaction. We also like to give our guidance, our expertise. So with my expertise in real estate negotiation, I provide expert guidance and advice at every step of the process, helping you, my clients, navigate potential challenges and make informed decisions. So overall, my approach to negotiation is rooted in transparency, in integrity, and a commitment to achieving your goal as a seller. So again, going back to the beginning of the listing presentation, we talk about your goals. And when we're negotiating, this is where knowing what is it that you're trying to accomplish becomes very, 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 very important. By leveraging strategic tactics, effective communication, I aim to secure favorable terms for my clients. And that is how we handle negotiations in a nutshell. Yep, and obviously, if you have more questions about negotiations and what is it that we do, hopefully this is clear. But this is how we handle our negotiations for our clients.